49ers continue to interview their coordinators for those vacancies on the coordinating position. The NFL playoffs is officially underway. Wildcard weekend is over. Divisional rounds about to kick off. 49ers are going to have to pay Brock Purdy. I can tell you that right now. And it's Mock Draft Monday, so get ready, 49er faithful. Let's get to it. Faithful to the Bay. What's going on, 49er faithful? It's your boy, the Wayne Breezie. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and touching down with your boy right here on this amazing, magnificent, marvelous, magical, manifesting Monday morning. It would be so funny if like today was Tuesday and I just forgot that today was Tuesday and I gave you all the words for M for Monday. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Give yourselves a round of applause out there for being here live. You know, some people watch it. I love them too. Some people watch it and I love them too. We're going to start the show off with a super chat contribution. Shout out to 49ers_throwback. Happy Monday, Wayne. I'm glad you said it was Monday because I said all that and thought maybe today might have been Tuesday and I was just off. Wayne to the faithful. Back to the grind, man. Already missed the 49ers. Hope all is well. Have a great day. Before I get to your super chat comment, and I truly appreciate you, and thank you for holding down, just being a great moderator out there. Shout out to all the moderators out there right here on the channel as well. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Smash the like button, right? So that's the first thing. I need you to smash that like button, all right? That's number one. Number one, you got to smash the like button. Why? Because I need you to smash the like button. We know what it does for the algorithm. You click the like, boom, 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 boom. Cool, beans. All right. Number two, if you're new, right? Hit that subscribe button, right? Click on subscribe. It'll just give you a little thumbs up and then boom, we good to go, right? Like you'll become a subscriber to the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing. It's free, right? Just to subscribe to the channel. And shout out to all the subscribers out there. Round of applause to you because we're officially over 6K and we're continuing to figure out how to grow right here on YouTube. So I need you to do that. Number three, if you really want to support the channel, right? And you just don't like giving super chats, cool, no problem. That's cool. I'm not asking you for super chats. Shout out to those that give super chats. But if you want to support the channel and you want to become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew, take advantage of the cool perks that it has to offer. There are a couple of tiers out there. Become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. Now, listen, they get first priority. They get priority, not even first. I will be highlighting those comments throughout the regular show. So if I don't get to your comment, it's probably because you're not a member or you didn't give a super chat. So make sure you guys do that. So that way I can continue to find ways to grow this channel. YouTube got some crazy strict rules. So I'm just trying to abide by everything. And we're just trying to figure out ways to continue to grow the channel. But I need you to help me out. So I just wanted to show you guys some love and appreciation. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch crew members out there as well. I'll be getting to you. But 49ers_throwback, thank you for the super chat contribution. And here's the thing, right? I watched every playoff game. First of all, the AFC games are just boring. I don't know if it's CBS or what, but AFC football is so dry and boring. Like the minute the first NFC matchup took place, like the minute the game started on Fox, man, it was the Eagles and who was the first NFC game? Was it the Eagles and the Packers? Man, it was just like life like came back into football. You know, the game was with the game, but it was just like, yes, we get football back. Something about NFL, man. NFL football is greater than CBS football. I don't know if it was me, you know, or maybe it's just a me thing, you know. Maybe it's just a me thing. I couldn't figure out like why was football so dull and boring when you're watching the AFC games. And then when you watch the NFC games, it's like thunder, lightning, like all excitement. Like, and it was probably just as boring, but something about the production was just greater for NFC games. Jax Knox says, hey, Wayne and Faithful, hope everyone's Monday is going great. Pay the man already. She's talking about Brock Purdy. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in and become a member of the Breezy Bunch. Thank you for promoting the Breezy Bunch crew. Appreciate you, Jax. Boats with the hashtag BBs. We know what the hashtags do as well, so feel free to hashtag that. Shout out to my brother Ben. What's going on, man? Let's go, baby. Hashtag that BB. Break that like button. Well, listen, don't break your like button because then you won't be able to hit the like again. So just, you know, smash it. without breaking it, maybe just click it, man. It's just click it, ticket, click it and ticket, right? Super simple, right? Like just click it. Ready to go Empire in the building. Happy Monday with the hashtag. Colin with the hashtag as well. My man Mosquito Killer in the building. What's good with you, family? Hope all is well. My man Ty's in the building. What's good, baby? What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing out there, man? It's so good to Mondays are so exciting because it's like I ain't talked to y'all all weekend. You know what I mean? Isaiah, what's good, family? I want to get in the show to clarify football for sure. I'm gonna be doing certain call-in shows, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Nigel in the building. You didn't think the Chargers-Texans game was good? Lat McConkey. It's not that it wasn't good. It's just not that it wasn't as exciting. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't as exciting. It's something about AFC football, and I think it's just me. Could be just me. Even like next week is the primetime game next week. The game of the week next week is going to be Baltimore and Buffalo, and watch it just be boring. Watch it be boring. I bet you $2. I bet you a membership of $1.99. I don't know how much my memberships go, but I bet you a membership that the game will be boring, even though it may be a shootout. It's something about AFC football is just not as exciting as NFC football. And wait, quick question. Was the and remind me of this, Nigel, was the Chargers-Texans game on Prime? I can't remember. It was too many football games. I can't remember. If it was on Prime, then that makes it that's different, right? Because Prime was dope. Prime football is growing. You know what I mean? I actually like the football. Oh, it was on CBS? All right, my bad. Nah, I did like seeing Lat McConkey. Love what I saw from the young quarterback over there in Houston, C.J. Stroud, man. Just ripped him a new one. I told everybody that Joe Mixon is the key to that team, the Houston Texans. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans. Can we give D'Amico Ryans a round of applause? Okay, thank you, Nigel. AFC, and tell me that game wasn't boring. Steelers and Ravens. That game was boring. It's just me. It's probably just me. Isaiah with another Super Chat contribution. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate those guys because the Super Chats help go to supporting what we do here live and paying for all this crap that I got to pay for. But listen, what's good, family? Prayers for Cali. Yes, guys, please continue to keep California in your prayers. The last time I checked, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but there were 11 people that had died from in these fires. So let's continue to keep and support however you guys go out there and support. If you wanted to do the all the different support things that they have going on out there, please do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue to keep those families in prayer for sure. Let's continue to do that. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Something was on pair. Well, so, yeah, whatever. Anyway, football's here. Now, here's what I did get out of football. I realized that, and maybe it's just my bias, right? Man, there's no football team. Football's weird when the Niners just aren't in it. It's just weird, right? Not to say that we didn't belong in the playoffs this year. Let me just make that clear. We didn't do anything to deserve to be in the playoffs. But I'll tell you this. The Niners wouldn't have lost in the first round. If we were a wild card team, we wouldn't have lost in the first round. I don't care if we was on the road or at home. We wouldn't have lost. Now, we got one more wild card game before wild card weekend is officially over. That's the Vikings at the Rams. They're going to be playing in Arizona due to the wildfires out in California, so they moved the location to Arizona. But I do know this. If the San Francisco 49ers were in the playoffs, it would have been yeah. You know what I mean? It would have been hell yeah. Yeah, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Just me. Like I said, I could be, it could just be me and being biased, whatever. If I'm biased, sue me. But at the end of the day, you got to pay to sue me, and I ain't got nothing you want to sue for. But it just seems weird when the Niners just aren't playing in the playoffs. It could have been any one of those teams the Niners would have been playing. I'd have been yes, let's go. Now, we got some gift memberships coming out there. Jax, I see Jax is gifting memberships, and I got my stream open, so I'm hoping I can see. Michael James Finlay was gifted a membership by Jax, so thanks to Jax Knox with the gift, and Jay Realist was gifted a membership by Jax Knox too. So welcome to the Breezy Bunch crew, man. Air horns for you guys. Welcome to the crew. I truly appreciate you guys 1000%, and definitely make sure you show Jax Knox some love. You guys got to do that. Please show Jax Knox some love. Now listen, on my Patreon, I'm going to be breaking down a lot of the draft prospects. I'm going to be doing it, covering the NFL here on the YouTube and going through like full team mock drafts and stuff like that. But on the Patreon, I'll be specifying things for the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm going to be creating a new tier. It'll be the cheapest tier, right? I think I'll make it for $1.99 or 99 cents or whatever I'm going to be able to do. So you guys can join the Patreon. I'll put that link up here as well. Shout out to Peachy out there. I see you out there. I'm going to post your comment in a second. But I'm working on putting together top 10 prospects for every position. It's going to be an Excel sheet. And if you become a member of the Patreon, you can get that for free. I would just need your email address, and then boom, you'll have that. So you can see the top tier, players, prospects, for the NFL in each position. And I've been working strenuously over this weekend, haven't talked to anybody, just been grinding. I got the offense down pack. I'm still making little minor adjustments. And the cool thing is it's live, right? So I'll be changing it up as we go and inputting data as we go. So you'll have option to be able to view that. And so you can keep track of some of the top players, and then you don't have to go crazy looking for everybody or whatever. I'm going to give you my top 10 guys and grades and things like that for each position. So that'll be on the Patreon. And if you want to know how to join the Patreon, is www.patreon.com/TheWayneBreezy. Don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Residency as well. Use the promo code SFBreezy. You're scrolling across the bottom of your screen. You can go to www.residency.com. They got a cool sale, 30% off sale going on right now. Plus, you get the promo code discount. So make sure you guys take advantage of all these little discounts that we got going on, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying, baby? Let's go. We got some 49ers news and updates. They interviewed over the weekend. Niners need to fulfill two coordinating positions, right? The most important coordinating position is the defensive coordinator, but they're working on that. Now, hopefully that ends up being Robert Saleh. I think at this point he's the fan favorite. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he's the fan favorite. They interviewed a special teams coordinator, assistant special teams coordinator, Jet Mockins from the Detroit Lions. Special teams coordinator from the Detroit Lions. So they definitely did that over the weekend. And let's talk a little bit about him, because I think people don't know who he is and things like that. And, I have a little stuff on this guy. And I tell you what, the Detroit Lions, I got two guys that I think that they need to definitely bring in for special teams. I know that they're looking internally to probably give the job to Nick Sorensen, who's currently already there. I understand that. But I'm hoping, I'm hoping that's not what they do. Okay, let me just be the first person to say I'm hoping that's not what they do. Super chat contribution and Jax Knox, y'all. These are yearly memberships I'm purchasing, so make sure y'all spread the love. Well, congrats, thank you, Jax. Yearly memberships. I have no idea what that means, but whatever it means is what she says it means. So make sure you guys take advantage of that, and please thank her. Send her a thank you card, thank you note, thank you flowers, thank you something. You know what I'm saying? Please do that. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook and Twitch and X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Appreciate you. Jump on the YouTube feed, all right, so you can be a part of this chat, become a member. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope. All right, so I did want to talk about who this guy was. All right, so let's talk a little bit about who he is. Worked with the Lions. He was assistant special teams coordinator to Dave Flip from the Lions. All right, 2021 Detroit Lions. During the 2023 season, the Lions' opponent started their average drive at their own 23-yard line. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things I want from special teams is some return yards, right? Return yards following kickoffs. The lowest average starting field position in the NFL. This unit was anchored by linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who tied for second with the 13 total special teams tackles. So this guy gets production from his players. That's what I'm getting from him. He's going to get you some return yards. He's probably going to get a solidified kicker in here. Or maybe if Kyle wants to continue to, and I know this is not a fan favorite, work with Jake Moody, maybe a new special teams coordinator. Y'all remember me saying something stupid like, and I always say stupid stuff, but do y'all remember me saying something stupid like, what if Brian Schneider is trying to tell Jake is not good for Jake Moody? I said that throughout the season since he was a rookie, because I just don't think Brian Schneider was good at anything when it came to special teams. But I said something about what if he's hindering Jake Moody? What if he's asking Jake Moody to do something that Jake Moody's not comfortable doing, and Jake Moody's trying to do it, and it changed up his mechanic, it changed up this, changed that. What if? It's big what if. It's not nothing real concrete or anything, but what if we bring in a new coordinator and Jake Moody all of a sudden becomes this phenomenal kicker in the NFL? If Kyle Shanahan chooses to continue to go that route, I still believe what I would do if I'm Kyle Shanahan is I'm bringing in a kicker and I'm going to have them battle it out like at this point. I'm not going to cut my third round pick, but I will cut him if he gets beat by somebody that I bring in off the streets. You feel me? So like if I'm bringing in somebody off the streets and you beat out this third round pick, well, it's a betcha by golly, wow, sayonara, senior, you're out of there. I'll move on from Jake Moody, but he's got to get beat out. And there are some kickers that want to kick in the NFL. So that's what I would do if I'm Kyle Shanahan. I'm all about competition. And sometimes, you say iron sharpeneth iron. Well, bring in another kicker and make Jake Moody get his mind right. Now, what if the new coordinator that they bring in, though, helps with this as well? So we will see. Like, I think coordinating is key. You know what I'm saying? I know we want to move on from Moody. I know he's not good. I get it. I understand. I'm not mad. I'm not trust me. It ain't got nothing to do with Michigan. We talk about red and mother freaking gold. I want the best option out there for the San Francisco 49ers week in and week out. So please understand what I'm saying. That's what I need. That's what I want. That's what we should want week in, week out. We want the best option out there on the football field. This year, Jake Moody just wasn't a great option, and we've had other options. That's just kind of like what it is. He just wasn't a great option. So they're interviewing these special team guys for special teams coordinator. I did want to talk about a guy whose contract is expiring. Now, breaking news for the Dallas Cowboys out there. If we got any Cowboy fans watching, Miami moved on from Mike McCarthy. So Mike McCarthy is no longer their coach. Now, I'm just finding out that John Fassel has an expiring contract this season, which means he will be free, right? He would be free, okay? They have the number one special teams unit in the NFL. Talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I know we don't want to talk about that. I feel like the Lions got number 2, Cowboys 1. Maybe they go out and get John Fassel, special teams coordinator. They got to at least give him an interview. You know what I mean? They got to at least try to get him an interview. Because what the 49ers are missing on special teams is production and creativity. Say that with me. Production and creativity. Say it with me again. Production and creativity. What do I mean by production? Well, I just told you. We need some gosh darn return yards. That's number 1. We need kickers that can make field goals. That's number 2. We need punters that can get the ball inside the 10. That's number 3. That's production. Now, creativity would be a fake here, a fake there. Am I the only 49er fan that's tired of being faked? I feel like we the only ones that get capped against. Like, we can't come out there and just fake a field goal, fake a run, whatever. Now, we need some creativity, in my opinion, on the special teams unit. We talk about we need creativity offensively. We need creativity defensively. How about the special teams unit needs some damn gone creativity too? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. My day out. If we are gifted a membership, how do we log into the Patreon? So memberships here are different than memberships on the Patreon. Patreon is a totally separate entity, so you would have to become a member there as well. It's different perks on the Patreon than it is here on the YouTube, my brother. So check out the Patreon. Go to Patreon. Check out the different tiers. You know what I'm saying, and see if that's something you guys are, you're interested in. But it's totally different. It's different platforms, so it's totally different. There are different tiers. You know what I mean. So Let's talk about like, the defensive coordinator position because, the Niners obviously they interviewed Robert Saleh. Saleh's got a couple of interviews. I think he's got an interview with the Jags. Then he's got an interview Thursday, I think, with the Raiders. So this is an interview week for him. I just don't see Robert Saleh. Now I understand Robert Saleh wants to become a head coach. I'm not gonna. I'm not mad at him for that. You know, I'm not mad at Saleh. Saleh wants to become a head coach, and you know what? He has that right to become a head coach. You know what I mean? So I'm all for that. But I'm hoping that he bombs the interview, like literally just doesn't do well. You flunk a test, please flunk the interview. See, because like you a lot of us want the 49ers to just offer him a lot of money, which this is all I want y'all to remember comes down to Jed York, right? Jed York is the one that controls who he pays, the coaches, front office, all that stuff. Like none of this comes out of salary cap. So like Jed York, if Kyle Shanahan says I want him, but there's a number, right? Like Jed York is probably not gonna go overboard and pay a defensive coordinator head coaching money. Like, would you pay? Let me ask you this: would you pay a defensive coordinator head coaching money? Would you pay that? I'm just curious because that's kind of like what's going down. Terradome, what's going on? So that's kind of like what's going down. He says, go get a kicker from World Cup trials. Hey, man, you know what's funny? Who's the kicker from the Cowboys? He went from a 99% kicking field goal to like 85 this year. Yo. Like I just think kickers all across the league just had a different year. There were kickers who we never heard of that are top of the league. And then there were the best kickers in the league, like Justin Tucker, who's at the bottom of the league. Like, make that make sense. I can't make it make sense. But it's just I just think it was a weird anomaly type of a year. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that will agree for kickers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just a weird year. But I wouldn't pay head coaching money for a coordinator. So we got to kind of be patient and wait for him to go through these processes. You know what I'm saying? Of the head coach. Like I said, I think Robert Saleh wants to be a head coach. I think Jacksonville Jaguars gives him the best opportunity to be a head coach. He walks into that situation with a pretty damn good defense. They got a pretty damn high draft pick, and they got a quarterback already. They got two quarterbacks to be exact because Mac Jones was holding it down. And last year they drafted Brian Thomas. I mean, I'm just trying to be a realist out there for y'all to understand like how difficult it might be to get a guy like Robert Saleh in here when you're painting him a picture. Now, I don't know if Saleh likes Bauke. I don't know if they will clash. I don't know. I'm sure they will. That will probably weigh in, but money talks. Hold up. And, bull walks. Like, that's what happens. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens, after the Jaguars interview. And I think there's no way in heaven or hell, whichever one, if you believe in both, cool, he's going to the Raiders. It would be purgatory for his career to go to the Raiders. Let somebody else do that. Like, don't do that to yourself, Robert Saleh. We love you too much to watch you do that to yourself. They're struggling. They're going to continue to struggle. I feel like the Raiders haven't been good since John Madden was gone. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, in my opinion, that's that. But as far as the Jags, that's the team that I'm kind of like, a little worried about. Like, I feel like they'll probably stop in, swoop in, offer him a nice package. He's got a nice team. The Jaguars, they quarterback situation, they build the offensive line. They could be onto something. So I can see him going there. Plus, it's California. There's no state taxes, right? There's no taxes, sales taxes, whatever. The taxes, you know what I'm trying to say. It's cheaper to live than it is in California. I mean, everything screams go to Florida for me if I'm Robert Saleh. But he's got to earn the job. And at the end of the day, it comes down to them. At the end of the day, like, it comes down to them. Like, you know what I mean? So it comes down to the Jags, but they're going to interview him. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? But let's go back to like the playoffs. The playoffs the playoffs were good. Like, I just want people to understand that. But I do see Brock Purdy getting paid the buku cash, man. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I've been talking about this damn market for as long as I can live. The market is the market. There's nothing we could do about the market. It's going to continue to just go up, go up, go up. We can't be mad that the market goes up and up and up and be happy when the salary cap goes up and up and up. They work hand in hand. They like Tweedledee, Tweedledum. They go together like ham and cheese or ham and burger, whatever you want to say, Kool-Aid and sugar. They go together. So I'm saying this to say that I don't know what the Niners looking to pay Brock Purdy, but I know Brock Purdy's agent, and I know we are not expecting any drama from Brock Purdy. I know. We're not expecting any drama from Brock Purdy. I get it. I could dig it. I get it. I know Brock's not that guy. We talk about his first contract, though. I want people to understand that this kid went from 7th round pick to breaking just about holding many statistical records. Rookie season, taking his team to an NFC championship. The year after that, taking his team to what? Whatever. My point is, it's NFC championship, it's a Super Bowl, and that's what he's got on his docket. No wins, but that's what he's got on his docket. With a lot of statistical categories to where Brock is top in. Even having a down season, Brock still had a pretty damn good statistical season, minus the interceptions, obviously, and he didn't have a lot of the touchdowns, but he was missing a big chunk of his offense that would give him those touchdowns, right? Like, so I just feel like Brock Purdy's camp is going to come in, and they're going to be like, listen, you know, you can say what you want about Brock, but if I compare him to some guys, and that's kind of like what I want to do today. Like, I want to go through the guys. I want y'all to see the guys. I don't think y'all understand the NFL, you know, contractual, active contracts. I don't think you guys get the guys, like how it works when we talk about top market. So let's go ahead and have some fun on today's episode. This is not what we're not fully into the Brock Purdy swing, but because his contract extension window has been opened, and that I'm sure that the Niners want to get it done sooner rather than later. And now you're watching some of those top guys get exited out of the playoffs in the first round. Last time I checked, Brock ain't getting no exit out of the first round. I mean, if I'm Brock's agent, I got some fire, some fuel to my fire. Listen, my quarterback, he came in, he was the backup. He came in and he took your team to the playoffs. This is what I'm his agent talking. I need y'all to understand this is where his agent's gonna come in. This is where the drama, can enter the conversation. I don't know, some people don't like Brock. I know Brock doesn't woo you, or Brock doesn't have this and Brock doesn't have that. And I'm sitting here listening to the some of these, you know, national analysts out there talking about Brock, and like Chris Sims spoke about Brock Purdy. Let me see if I can find what Chris Sims said. I won't play it to where you can see it, but I will play it live. I will play it so you can hear it, because I want y'all to understand that they don't want Brock. Like, they don't think Kyle Shanahan should pay Brock. You know, and it's crazy, and I get it. Give me a second of your time. Hold up.
They're not going to do anything fast.
It's Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk
to try to get a better deal. We saw it with Brandon Ayuk last year. We've seen it with others. We saw it with Deebo Samuel, right? They do not, and this isn't John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan. This is Parag Marathe, Jed York. They do not just throw out money. Not that many teams do, but I can't imagine this being an easy negotiation.
No, I mean, I can't either. And, you know, they're in a little bit of a bind, in my opinion, because they have thrown out money, maybe, I think, a hair recklessly. I'll say that. You know, I know I'm friends with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and a bunch of people out there, but, yeah, that's just my thought. You know, the Brandon Ayuk thing, you know my thoughts on that. I thought that was too expensive for that player. They're paying George Kittle a ton of money, and he's coming towards the downslope of his career. Trent Williams is almost 40 at left tackle, and he was injured at the end of the year. Christian McCaffrey, a year and a half ago, they gave big money to, and he's at an age of the running back and all that where you go, right? So they got some things to deal with there, definitely. And Brock Purdy being the biggest, to your point. And I don't know where it goes. But I know this, Mike, when it comes to the Brock Purdy conversation, I would pay him nowhere near market money. Nowhere near. You know my take on all of this. I mean, Tua's the perfect example. Nobody in football was going to give Tua $55 million. Nobody. The Miami Dolphins negotiated against themselves, and they put themselves in trouble. You can't have the highest paid guy on your football team be one of the biggest problems on your team in a big game, let alone he can't stay available for a big game anyways and on the field. Well, with the 49ers, Brock Purdy is a good quarterback, certainly. But we know, I think a lot of quarterbacks are going to San Francisco and look pretty good. He's what, a top 20-ish quarterback in football? Top 20? I mean, and to the point of where his contract is and what he's made to this moment, I mean, if I'm the 49ers, I'm offering like $30 million. I'm offering 25. I'm going, go ahead, tell me who else out there is going to give you that money and make you the starting quarterback somewhere, right? Baker Mayfield's making 30. You're not even close to as good as Baker Mayfield. Sorry, right? And that's where I think the rubber has to meet the road. At some point, one of these teams is going to have to go, just because he's our quarterback doesn't mean we have to make him one of the 5 highest paid guys in all of football. That's insane. It's ruining teams. Right? There's only a few short list guys that should be in that category. And they better be careful, in my opinion, with the Brock Purdy contract and that whole situation.
All right. So he said a lot, right? He did. He said a lot. He said stuff about, about the NFL and how you shouldn't really tie a lot of your money into the guy unless you really know that he's the guy. But what if the Niners feel like Brock is the guy? Like, I feel like Chris Sims, although he was spitting like facts overall in general, and you don't want to like play this money game, right? The Niners obviously feel like he's the guy. Well, how do you know they feel like he's the guy, Breezy? Oh, I know. They traded their first round pick away to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th round pick with a 7th round guy. That's how I know that he's the guy. It just makes perfect sense. So we have one season where Brock doesn't have an anomaly season. We could say it was an anomaly in the bad way, but it wasn't even bad. And if you said that he was a top 20 quarterback in 2024, okay, I give you that, Chris. But he was a freaking MVP candidate in 2023. So what do you and then you take away the fact that, let's see, Brock didn't have a starting running back. Brock didn't have a starting number 1 wide receiver. Brock had to learn how to do this. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I get it. But even if he finished, he definitely was higher than top 20. If you want to say that Baker Mayfield had a better season than Brock Purdy in 2024, fine. I give you that. He did. Baker Mayfield also lost the wild card weekend game because he fumbled the ball. Like, that's what happens. Yeah, it's okay. My point is, I know that a lot of money will be tied in to the quarterback contract, but that's just the way it goes. That's the game. You go to school, you become a quarterback, you find your way into the NFL, and you want to prove that you're the best quarterback. And just like other guys that weren't first-round picks, like a Russell Wilson, he wasn't a first-round pick, he was a third-round pick. Maybe he was never a 7th-round pick, but he was a 3rd-round pick, and he worked his way up, and he proved that he can be the leader of that team, and he did, and he won them the Super Bowl. I just feel like when you have a guy, you have a guy. Now, listen, these contracts aren't set in stone. Like, right? You could pay the guy and find ways to move on and all that good stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's super simple. But let's just look at what's going on right now. Because the top paid quarterback per year, I just want to make sure I put that caveat out there, per year. All right, didn't go value, didn't go overall value. We know that the highest contract right now is the Patrick Mahomes contract. And didn't go value. The Niners aren't going to go value, right? The Niners may try to go value, but I think Brock Purdy's agent is going to want to make sure per year he's getting whatever. And then it's the guaranteed number. We could look at that too. We'll save that for another show. But let's just look at the average, and let's just look at the quarterbacks here on average. I can tell you right now, out of the top 5 quarterbacks, only one. The top 5 paid quarterbacks in the NFL. The top 5 per average. Dak Prescott at 60, Joe Burrow at 55, Trevor Lawrence at 55, Jordan Love at 55, Tua Tagovailoa at 53.1. I'm telling you right now, on average, those are your top 5. Here we go. Because now, I can tell you right now, only one of those quarterbacks went to the Super Bowl and didn't win. So let's have this conversation, because Dak Prescott ain't sniffed the Super Bowl since he's been in the Cowboys uniform. Trevor Lawrence probably never ever go to a Super Bowl, and he got paid. Look where his number is. Jordan Love just got knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. I don't care how well he played last year, because the way Chris Sims made it seem like Brock Purdy's a top 20 quarterback. So never mind last year. Let's talk about right now. I didn't think Jordan Love was good this year. I didn't think Jordan Love had an astonishing season. I told y'all that the Packers were going to be better because of one player. His name was Josh Jacobs. He made that team better. Josh Jacobs. They figured out how to run the ball with Josh Jacobs. That was the difference. They got their version of Christian McCaffrey, and it worked out for them. They got to the first round in the playoffs, and they got knocked their asses. They got knocked out, right? That's Jordan Love. Where's he getting? $55 million a year. Oh, tied for second. Trevor Lawrence, not in the playoffs. Joe Burrow, not in the playoffs. Just not. Only been to the Super Bowl once. One conference game too. Tua, nowhere near the playoffs. I think they went last year, but they didn't go this year. Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, knocked out. Look at what Lamar Jackson's $52 million, and he's not. Is he better than Lamar Jackson? No, he's not better than Lamar Jackson. Now I think that. But you think Lamar Jackson, if he gets another MVP, is it going to start another contract negotiation where he's going to push this number up even higher? Jalen Hurts, is he better than Jalen Hurts? Now that's the conversation. Like that to me is entitled to having a conversation. But look what Josh Allen, number 14, is making. I don't know if y'all can see that down there. I'll scroll down a little bit. Number 14 is Josh Allen. He's making $43 million a year. Now I know a lot of us don't want to tie this money into Brock, but I'm not one of them. I'm going to be honest. If you feel like you got your guy, you pay for your guy, man. That's just, you pay like you weigh, man. Like that's the game. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You can't be like, oh, I'm not going to pay him or whatever. Like, that's not how the game works. It's just not how it works. Everybody is, if they feel like they got their guy, they're going to have to pay the guy. They're going to have to pay their quarterback. Now, the type of contract, the duration of the contract, the language of the contract, the incentives of the contract. We know the Niners are an incentive-based team. They will put types of incentives in that contract. It's going to make you earn up to that. They can do that because he was a 7th-round pick. They can figure out ways for him to earn up to some types of monies. But I don't think we should be worried about Brock. I think we need to make sure that Brock is the guy and that we're ready to move forward with Brock and continue building around Brock. Because the first thing I'm thinking is let's protect Brock. If I'm going to spend 55, and I'm telling you right now, that number, because of what the market says, and let's just have the conversation. Is Brock Purdy? Colin, that was funny. That's a funny comment, Colin. That's a funny comment. Let's just check. Is Brock Purdy better than Dak Prescott? Out of the top 5, I think Brock, the only quarterback here that gives Brock competition would be Joe Burrow. I want to know how Joe Burrow would play if he didn't have his guys. Man, we talk about Brock not having his guys. Man, Brock with his guys is an MVP candidate. Right? Brock with his guys, is an MVP candidate. Sound like Joe Burrow. Because Burrow without Chase, Burrow without Higgins, Burrow without an offensive line, bro, he's just Joe Burrow. But he got his contract already. But is he better than Dak? Is he better than Trevor Lawrence? Is he better than Jordan Love? And is he better than Tua? Those are your top 5 guys. That's what the market is dictating. The market is the market. I don't make the market. You don't make the market. These TV contracts and all that type of stuff, they make the market. Brock is fun to watch on television. I'm not even going to mention Justin Herbert. As much as I like him, he has the tools to be everything that's great, but he has no experience. And in those playoffs, he got iced bad. Now, they couldn't run the ball. That would be if I'm Jim Harbaugh. Fine. If I'm Jim Harbaugh and they'll be picking late, he better hope Aston Janti falls to pick whatever they're picking. He better hope, because I can tell you right now, there's teams that need a running back. But at the end of the day, it's not over. It's not our money to talk about overpaying. Like you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like you're gonna pay what the market dictates. You can offer Brock less. Brock can accept less, and we could be happy. If that happens, that's great. One quarterback in the history of quarterbacking since I've really been into football that was the prime example of that was Tom Brady. But Tom Brady's situation was totally different than maybe what Brock Purdy's situation is. And I'm just talking about their livelihoods. Like, it's just different. Brady was married to a supermodel. Brock's not. Brady's income probably was different. So Brady understood that. His life was straight, and he decided to take less money, and they continued to build the infrastructure of the team. I feel like the Niners team is built, and they can find ways to kind of like replenish and keep that clock churning. But I think if they got their guy, I think you pay your guy. If Brock would have won the Super Bowl, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Right? If Brock would have won the Super Bowl, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I just feel like does Brock make mistakes? Yes. Every quarterback on this list has made mistakes. Every quarterback has thrown interceptions. Every quarterback has lost big games. But not a lot of these quarterbacks have been to the Super Bowl. No for Dak Prescott. No for Trevor Lawrence. No for Jordan Love. No for Tua Tagovailoa. Jared Goff has one. No for Jared Goff. No, he did go to the Super Bowl. They lost. My bad. He hasn't been since he's with the Lions. Justin Herbert, nah. Lamar Jackson, nope. Jalen Hurts, yes. Kyler Murray, hell no. Watson, never. Patrick Mahomes, he'd only go. Kirk Cousins, nah. Allen, nope. Not even close. Matthew Stafford, yes. A winner. Derek Carr, hell nah. Aaron Rodgers, long time ago. Baker Mayfield, nope. Geno Smith, never. Gardner Minshew, for real though. For real. Top 20. Sam Darnold, maybe this year. Maybe not. Caleb Williams, rookie. Now we're talking about second year play. Come on, man. I think it comes down to what Brock Purdy abilities that he's going to be able to that he's capable of doing. I think the fact that the 49ers have seen what Brock can do when they know that what the team is right, I think that they go all in. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying that the number is going to be 60 million, but I mean it has to be north of 55, right? North of 55 per year, maybe not. Maybe, like I said, it's a whole bunch of different factors that comes down to the con. And we're going to be talking about this throughout the whole offseason. The Niners don't have to do any of this. The Niners can have him play out on the last year of his rookie deal. But at the end of the day, I just feel like if the 49ers want to avoid any of the drama in the offseason, any of the media trying to make a story out of nothing, they find a way to get this done, make sure that they got their quarterback locked in. Again, it may not be $55 million, but you can't disrespect Brock Purdy and offer this man $30 million when he's been proven to do more than any of those quarterbacks on that list. And the only quarterback that you can really compare him to as far as what they've done, as far as how far they've gone, that's Joe Burrow. Patrick Mahomes in a different stratosphere. Dude got tons of Super Bowls. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the only person we can literally compare him to. And last time I checked, did the Bengals make the playoffs this year? Oh, hell nah. They ain't make the playoffs this year. Last time I checked. They just didn't. They didn't. Jax Knox in the building with another Super Chat contribution. This is a special Super Chat contribution because it says on YouTube, which is where I'm looking to my left. Thank you, Jax. None of them have been where Brock Purdy has been except a few. No. Only person that has been there is Joe Burrow, lost the Super Bowl like Brock, and Patrick Mahomes, who's a winner. That's it. All those other guys, I mean, you go Aaron Rodgers, but that was like, when the last time Aaron Rodgers won, right? And he's old now, right? He's an old man. But congratulations to Jax. This is her 20th Super Chat on the live stream. I feel like it should be way more, but they saying it's your 20th, so we just want to show you congratulations and send you a round of applause. Now listen, man, I love Brock. I love the Niners. At the end of the day, I just want us to win. I feel like the Niners do have some expiring contracts coming up. They got some big money they're going to have to pay out. I understand the cap. I understand everything. I understand why we don't want to tie our money into a guy that hasn't won yet, but he gives us the best chance to win. I mean, unless you guys feel like you can draft another kid and he can get you to the Super Bowl year one, maybe a Jackson Dart, maybe I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you know, it's okay if you're not completely sold on Brock Purdy. I think that's fair. But if the Niners are, then we have to just trust them. We just got to trust what the Niners believe until it doesn't pan out. If it pans out, then we could be like, oh, yeah. And if it doesn't pan out, you could be like, see, I told you so. I mean, that's just the only way to kind of like look at it. You know what I mean? Only way to kind of look at it. All right, man, let's shift gears because it is one of my favorite days of the week. It is Mock Draft Monday. All right, so Mock Draft Monday goes simply like this. We know that the 49ers have some team needs. I like to use the PFF Mock Draft Simulator. I understand a lot of people are using the Pro Football Talk Simulator. I get it. Whichever one floats your boat, be my guest. All right, be my guest. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up for you guys. I've been watching film after film, and I've been really like zoning in on player types, profiles that specifically fit the 49ers, not necessarily like the best names out there, but we will do some mock drafts where it's the best player available, all that good stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for sure. But I think the Niners are in a situation, which is weird, because everybody knows that the San Francisco 49ers need to address the offensive line. And it's almost like if you are doing a mock draft and your first pick isn't an offensive lineman, even if the offensive lineman is one of the worst offensive linemen in the first, you are failing. Like, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the Niners got they got some needs. They need to address the trenches. I think we can all agree that the Niners need to address the trenches. The question was going to be, well, which side of the trenches are they going to address first? And I really think it comes down to who's best available. You know, I don't know who the Niners, feel their number one prospect at tackle is. I will tell you this. There are only 3 tackles that I have a grade 1, round 1 grade on. 3. Only 3. And the Niners are at the position where they're drafting 11th. But there's only 3 that I feel like can come in day one and get it going with the San Francisco 49ers, whether they start at right tackle or left tackle. Now, let me just be clear. If Trent Williams comes back, there's nobody in this draft that's beating out Trent Williams for the job. Colt McKivitz is on contract for 1 more year. I'm not saying that you can't find a guy that could come out and be out Colton McKivitz, but that's what you want, right? Like, that's what you want. But I can tell you right now, Trent Williams comes back. There's nobody beating Trent Williams. I don't care if Trent Williams is 40. There's nobody beating him out of the job. Now, that's if he comes back. So, do you draft as if Trent is here, or do you draft as if you're trying to replace Trent in the future? And that's where it's going to come down to the line. Now, let's go back. First round's in the books. Cam Ward went first. Cam Ward is my number one quarterback in this draft. He should absolutely go first in the draft, in my opinion. Shedeur Sanders goes to the Browns. Obviously, they're dealing with the injuries with their quarterbacks and stuff like that, so that makes perfect sense. I'm not sure if that's where Deion Sanders wants his son to go. I heard he's going to be very vocal to where he wants his son to go. This should get interesting. You want to talk about drama? There will finally be some drama away from the 49ers that we can really tie into. Travis Hunter, probably the best player in this draft, is going third to the New York Football Giants, which is just not a bad pick. They get the best player available, and that's what best player available means. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what best player available means, all right? It means exactly that. They went for that instead of addressing their need. They needed a quarterback. They needed a tackle. They needed a DB. They just decided, and they got Travis Hunter, right? Tia Rio, I can't say his name, McMillan, wide receiver. They got him as the best receiver. I don't see the Patriots selecting a wide receiver in the first round, but hey, if they go that, whatever. Abdul Carter, best edge rusher in the draft, goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. How crazy would it be if Robert Saleh becomes the head coach of that, and then he gets Abdul Carter, and then they have Abdul Carter, and then what's the other dude name? I know he changed his name. It used to be called Josh Hines Allen or something like that. Man, can you imagine that? Woo, Jesus, have mercy. Will Johnson goes to the Raiders. Feel bad for my boy Will, but hey, whatever. You be a Raider. Will Campbell, that's one. That's one tackle. I said there was three, and I'll let you know if they got picked. So far, Will Campbell, LSU, is the top tackle, I guess, in this draft. He was the one that went first. And when you say top tackle, I mean as far as like size, all that type of stuff, man. He's the taller of them. He's a guy. There's two other guys that I like as well. Nick Scarrington goes to the Panthers. That's a good pick. Mason Graham, interior defensive tackle, goes to the Saints. And then so two receivers went in this mock draft. All right, Ashton Jeanty is the best player available on this board. The Niners would be they don't need a running back. Like they'll get a running back, but they don't need a running back. So there's no way that they're going to waste their first round pick on this running back. I like Jalon Walker, linebacker there. Still don't think they picked. I love Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren, Jalon Walker is the number one linebacker. Tyler Warren is the number one tight end. And that's where it gets tricky. Do you go for a number one position, or do you go for a spot that you know you're going to need, right? You know you're going to need. I'm trying to look for where they have this kid out of West Virginia. I just want to see if there he is. Wyatt Milam is a nice prospect too for that I feel like for San Francisco 49ers. There's plenty of tackles, but I feel like the only one that will start like day one would be Kelvin Banks. Like that would be the one that would start day one. And I know people are tired of me drafting Kelvin Banks, but he's always available at 11. So I just feel like he should be the guy. Now, if there was other guys available, I definitely would have went that way. I could go edge. Looking at the edge rushers, I see Michael Williams from Georgia there and James Pierce. James Pierce is the guy that I'm salivating over. I really want him, but he's going to be gone in the second round. And so now you're going to go second tier. They can go for defensive interior because I think the Niners need to address the interior, the defensive, the trenches, period. End of discussion. Kenneth Grant is available. Tyleik Williams is available. TJ Sanders and Walter Nolan would probably be like my top pick. Derek Harmon is down there too. You want a guy that can just motor, and great skills, Derek Harmon. So, look, at this point, I think you just go with the top tackle. You go Calvin Banks Jr. and you get him. It is what it is. If he's going to continue to be available, that's the route you go. Now, in round two, I'm looking and I'm saying, all right, well, my number 2 linebacker is available. Do I need to draft a linebacker like Jaheed Campbell this high? Do I go a little bit later? Do I address the edge, right? And if you guys want to tight end in this draft, shoosh, good luck. Like, good luck. You know what I mean? Good luck if you guys want a tight end in this draft, because after Warren and Colston, you're gonna have to look. I forgot 3 tight ends, maybe with grade round 1 grades. You know, it's the kid Harold Fannin from Bowling Green, and then it's Colston and it's freaking Tyler Warren. But I see Gunnar Helm there. I don't have him high, like round 2, round 3, maybe. But after that, tight ends drop. They drop big time. So edge is a position. I love Mike Green, led the nation in sacks in 2024. I feel like he's the guy that I want to go with, but I do like the linebacker from Alabama. I don't know if there's any PTSD when it comes to linebacking, especially from Alabama. But if you just want to know who he is, you can see that his run defense is good. He's okay. He's okay in coverage, right? He's not bad in coverage. Okay. I just look at like his height. He's 6'3", 244. I mean, he's damn near almost as tall as Fred Warner, who I think is 6'4", right? And so I having him and Fred Warner side by side, especially if you're going to lose a piece like a Dre Greenlaw, could be huge. Let me look at the edge, and then let me look at the interior. I love Mike Green. And then after Mike Green, it's a big drop unless I can get Danny Dennis Sutton, who's going to be a prospect. But the Niners already have a guy like, I don't want to say they have a guy like Dennis Sutton. I think he's better than Drake Jackson, but I think I still need to see what Drake Jackson does. I feel like, Danny Dennis Sutton can be that type of a guy. This is going to be interesting. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be super interesting. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think I'm going to go linebacker here. So I decided to make the linebacking core the strength of the defense. You got your front. Make that linebacking core where it is. They make the plays. They got to do the coverage. A lot of these offenses are making linebackers cover. You got to get guys that can cover. You got D. Winters going into year 3. That would be pretty cool. So that'd be a nice little trio of linebackers, right? Warner, Winters, and then the rookie Campbell. All right, so we addressed so far. You can see what we did. We got Kelvin Banks, Jaheed Campbell. Those are our first 2 picks. Now we're into round 3. So we got 2 picks in this round. All right, so now we're into round 3. I'm not really thinking about receiving, quarterbacking at this point. I talked about tight end. I also want to go interior, and I see my interior guy there, Derek Harmon from Oregon. Just so you guys can get a look. Look at his pass rush win rate. Like that. 17.6% is one of the highest pass rush win rates for an interior defensive tackle on my list. He's also on my top 5, so he'll be in that document for sure. But if I miss out on this tight end, if we miss out on Harold Fannin Jr., we are out for a minute. There's no more other tight ends. I think in round 3, you're going to have to look at this kid because there's going to be a big drop. It's a huge drop. I mean, the next guy I like is Terrence Ferguson. I think we go Harold Fannin Jr. You want a guy, just looking at what he doesn't really drop the ball much. He forces a lot of missed tackles, had 33. He was number 1 in missed tackles forced. Number 1 in missed tackles forced. All right? He's averaging about 7.5 yards after the catch. Okay? He can get down the field. He's deep. And here's what I like. He's 6'4", 230. 6'4", 230. You got to like this kid. 10 touchdowns on the year, 1,555 yards. You want somebody to take over the realms of a George Kittle at some point. It's got to be this guy. I'm going Harold Fannin Jr. in the 3rd round. I just need to scroll up. I want to see who took my guy, Harmon, because I know he's gone. Where did he go? Fannin. I went Fannin, and then why don't I see him get? Oh man, the cornerback I wanted got taken by the Ravens. He went to the Chargers. So he went to the Chargers. All right, so now and the last pick in round 3, you're kind of like here. You're looking at best player available. Also looking at what the Niners need to address. They still need to get more, I feel like, offensive linemen. As far as interior, I see Armaj Reed Adams here. Connor Colby, I think, would be a good fit. Luke Condra's here as well. If you're looking at the centers, a lot of people love Jake Majors. I'm not a big fan of Jake Majors, especially running the zone runs. Let's go to corners. Let's see who's available. I really like O'Donnell Fortune from South Carolina. Out of these guys, Denzel Burke too as well. Jacob Parrish, I see some guys there. I could probably try to get them a little, like at least in round 4. But I think you got to go up front. You know what I mean? I think you got to go up front. You know, Rusty, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you 1,000%. All right, so let's look at this kid. Let's look at his zone grid. You can tell he's a zone guy. He can play both guards, and he gives you tackle. I mean, tell me he doesn't scream 49er, right? Like, he can play left guard. He can play right guard. He can even play right tackle, which is what he played last year. And so you look at him, he's the guy that I think I'm going to go with. I'm trying to really get this front going. Aaron Banks is going to be a free agent, all that type of good stuff, or whatever or whatnot, you know. So it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Niners need to continue to find ways to improve that offensive front. Whether this guy comes in, starts year 1 or not, at least you know you're building the offensive line for the future of the San Francisco 49ers. Just to do a quick recap, for the first 3 rounds, we went Kelvin Banks, Jaheed Campbell, linebacker, tight end Harold Fannin Jr., and then we went guard Armaj Reed Adams. All right, Armaj Reed Adams. Now, I know it's 4th round right here. You definitely want to be looking at some of these DBs. I think that's the route we need to go in at least round 4, and let's just see who's available. The Niners may go best player available. Love Jarquez Hunter out of Auburn. He gives the 49ers pass catching ability. I just don't know how fast he is. Like that would be my key. Like, what's his speed like? But he's great at zone run, as you can see here. He doesn't drop the ball much. Explosive, guys. Look at his elusive rating. Makes people miss. 1,201 yards on the season. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry. He had 8 TDs. This is a Kyle Shanahan type of a player. Excuse me, a Bobby Turner type of a player. Should the 49ers draft a running back in round 4? I say, why the hell not? I'm going to go ahead and get Jarquez Hunter from Auburn with the pick. All right, we're into round 5. The 49ers got 2 5th-round picks on the clock. And usually, I mean, we've gotten a tight end in the previous draft in the 5th round and Dre Greenlaw in the 5th round in the previous draft. But we already addressed those positions, right? We already addressed those positions. You're going to start seeing quarterbacks here. And I think that Kyle Shanahan definitely drafts a QB. I do. I definitely feel like he drafts a QB. The question is when and who? Like, who is Kyle Shanahan looking at? I see Kyle McCord up here from Syracuse. Is the kid from Indiana still up here? I don't know if he's. Yep, Cordis Work is up here from Indiana. Like, both of these dudes are going to be problems, I believe, in the NFL. You guys know who I like. I'm sure he's still up here as well. They got him kind of rated kind of low. Did I address the edge position? Because if I did, I'm doing it twice. I did not. All right, so I'm going to reach here in the 5th round because I still see a guy that I really think will come in and give the Niners some fits. Go back and watch that game. He had the interception in that game. He also had a sack in this game. Danny Dennis Sutton is going to be my first 5th-round pick. It's probably going to be a low grade, but it's going to be my first 5th-round pick. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat still, man. Thank you for holding it down as well. Now, Kyron Lacey is still on this board, but I feel like there's going to be mad red flags. I don't even want to get into his stories off the field, but there's some stuff going down with him or whatever, and yeah, we're not even going to get into that. Now, here's my picks. So far, I do want to address, I feel like I can get Darius Alexander. You want a run stuffing guy. Pass rush win rate is there, but you need a run stuffing defensive tackle. All right, 6'4", 310. This is like where the Niners are. It's the guys that they like. All right, Darius Alexander from Toledo. I do love him. Peebles as well. Aeneas Peebles as well as another guy, pass rushing weight. You can see he's at 15.2%. He might be the guy that I like to go with. 3 sacks on the season. Not big in the sack category. 4 sacks from Darius Alexander. I really think the Niners need to address that interior. I'm just curious. Why is Matthew Golden still available for the 49? I mean, for the as a wide receiver. That's bugging me out. But 5th round, let's go with. I like Upton Sutton as a nickelback. My number 1 nickelback in this draft is the kid from Texas, Jade, but he's gone. This would be a kid. You want a guy that can come in and play nickelback, and you want to leave what's your name on the outside. Upton Sutton is the guy. Like, I know they got him listed as a safety, but look at this guy lined up. Most of his snaps were in the slot, which means he played nickelback. He played 633 snaps. He finished the game. He had 44 tackles on the season. No interceptions or anything like that, but this kid can be a problem if the Niners were looking to get a DB that can give you some of that nickelback range. I'm going to go up to Sutton here, and I'm going to play the game in the 6th round and see who I'm able to come up with in round 6. All right, in round 6. And just like that, like I mentioned mad guys. I mentioned 2 defensive interior guys gone. Just like that. Just like that. Gone. Dang. Like this, they don't play around here, man. They definitely don't play around here. So we didn't really address the interior of the defensive front, right? I should have did it in that round. I should have did it in round 5. I didn't. I thought that they would be available in round 6 because he was projected to go in round 6, and I got beat. All right, so I got beat. So now what am I looking for when I look for a defensive tackle? What do I think the Niners need? They need a guy that can really. It's not about the pass rush win rate, even though you want that high. You want the ability to be able to, get to the quarterback. You can see that Cam Horsley had 0 sacks. I want to know if they could stop the run. Like that, to me, that's got to be key. I'm tired of the San Francisco 49ers struggling against the run. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, at this point, it's bad. It's really bad. Like, so I'm looking, from these guys, who's got a great freaking high run defensive rate. And right now it's the kid from Boston College. So let's just go ahead. I wanted to get the interior guy in here, so we got an interior guy. Now we got 2 7th round picks, and now we can kind of play around. So I see a quarterback that I like. This is the 7th round. I'm going with Jackson Dart. I think he's my number 3 quarterback in his draft too, by the way. I don't know why he's ranked so low. You're going to see who he is after the Senior Bowl. I can tell you that right now. You're going to see who he is after the Senior Bowl. I got a running back. I got a tackle. I got a guard, tight end, linebacker. We got edge, safety, or you can use him as a nickel, however you want. Interior. We got the quarterback. And let's get the best wide receiver that's available on the board. I felt like we went shopping at Texas, so we'll get Matthew Golden, and that's going to be this draft right here on Mock Draft Monday. Looks like they probably gave us a B. Oh, we got an A? Literally? We got an A. I don't know how this results to an A, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'll take it. So just a quick recap. We addressed the offensive line. We addressed the linebacking position. I don't know if Dre Greenlaw is going to be back. I hope that he's back. But even if he is back, still want to draft for the future for sure, especially when you see good prospects available. Harold Fannin Jr. and George Kittle. You want George Kittle to have some help, you draft this kid. If you can get Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland, any one of those guys, cool. But you're not going to be able to get those guys. But if Harold Fannin Jr. is available, you got to go with him. We got big up front with Armez Reed Adams as well. Blocking, good run blocking, good pass protection. Jarquez Hunter would be a perfect complementary piece. I know we got a running back. I know we got running backs here in the core. But some of those guys can be expiring contracts at some point. And it's all about building, the stable of guys. Jarquez fits what I feel like, you know what I'm saying, our running backs coach likes. He does. Danny Dennis Sutton could be the steal of this draft. I want people to realize. I can't wait to break him down so people can really understand what he does. Again, if you watch the game that Penn State just lost, if you watch that game, you will see how great they play, like how great he played, like in that game. Him, Abdul Carter, they were the guys for sure. Upton Stout, the nickelback or safety from Western Kentucky. Cam Horsley, we got a big interior run stuffing guy from Boston College. Jackson Dart, I didn't think he was going to be available at that very last pick, so I decided to jump up and get him, but they're both 7th round picks, so it really doesn't matter. And that's going to be our mock draft for this particular Monday, man. And let me know what you guys think for sure in the comment section. For those that are watching the show, I would love to know what you guys think. You guys have been amazing on this Monday, and I just wanted to tell you thank you again. Keep the state of California, especially the cities below the LA area, like keep them the Palisades where the fires originated. Keep those people in your prayers for sure. Very devastating times out there. Make sure you guys do that. Again, shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew. You guys know who you are. Truly appreciate you guys, your love, your support, all that good stuff. All right. And make sure you guys stay locked in right here on the Wayne Breezy channel, man. We got a lot of stuff that's going to be going down for sure. The BAM show will be kicking off on Wednesday, so we'll be back with Mike. You guys get the BAM show. It's going to be fun off season. 24 deaths. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was up to 24. I said the last time I checked, it was down to it was 11. So don't forget to hit that like button for sure, man. And I'm gonna leave you guys on this good note. Whether the 49ers choose to pay Brock a lot of money or an average type of money, it really doesn't matter. I think what we want is for Brock to come in healthy with his crew and get back to work, get back to the drawing board. We've all seen what this team can do when their number one pieces are available and Brock Purdy is just lighting them up like darts. We know what this 49ers team can do when all is working well. We know what it could kind of do when all isn't working well, and we just need to hope that we don't have another season where it's like that. I think Kyle Shanahan and the new coaches and the new regime, when they come in here, they're going to make sure that this team is set up to win, whether they got their stars out there or their B-stars out there. And at this point, that's what they're trying to build. They're trying to build a great community and unit of players to get back to winning football. 49ers will be back, and they will be stronger than ever, just like you guys. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. And always remember, keep it faithful to. Thank you all for your support here on the Wayne Breezy channel. If you're new, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the like button and check out the other videos. Thanks for watching.